Video, we're going to look at everybody's favorite crypto, Bitcoin, and then we're going to get into some trade setups that happened today intraday that I was watching, I was involved in. So let's get into it. Before we start, make sure you go through and like and subscribe to the channel. And now we'll get into it. So Bitcoin here, what we've got in Bitcoin is, the last couple weeks we've been talking about trading this range here on the, you can see it pretty clear on the daily, and we got these kind of two lines wrapped around it, but we broke out of that range and now we're headed lower. We have this big red support line here that we've been watching for forever, and what's important to note here is you can see these highs here is this thing's printing lower highs into this support level. And what that means to me is that I'm going to be looking for a breakdown of these levels. Now, unless there is a big rejection off of this 29,876 level, unless we see something where the market just hits it and then just shoots higher and we get a strong move higher that takes out one of these previous highs, unless that happens, then I'm going to stick to my short thesis. And what that means is I'm specifically going to be looking for a breakout of this level lower. And the reason is you can see when you look at this, like there's not much left to support price until, maybe a little bit here at 20,000. And this thing could head as low as 10,000. So, or 12,000. So it's a lucrative shorting opportunity anyways. So we'll see if that plays out. And if not, if it rejects off this 29,800 level, then, a person could look to get long if we print a higher high. So that's how I'm looking at it. And that's Bitcoin. So just if you wanted to see what the 4-hour looks like, here's the 4-hour chart. You can see it was pretty clearly in this range. We broke out of that range here today and in the last 24 hours, and now it's starting to head lower. So we do have a few, like we have this low to get through here, and then we have this low that we need to break out past here. So that's how I'm playing that, how I'm watching it. And Matic here, this has been interesting because this has been just a crazy ride on Matic. It's just been heading lower. So I think we're where we are now at $1.37. I mean, it's well off its highs of 270. So yeah, this is likely. Yeah, this is selling off pretty hard, and I don't foresee that stopping until somewhere around $1, but I could be wrong. So let's go look at some trades that happen intraday. Let's talk about them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw the hourly chart on the left-hand side. Boom, here's our hourly. Awesome. And then we have our 5-minute chart here now on the, or I'll switch it over to a 5. I kind of jump back and forth between a 5 and a 3 for my trade setups today. I'll start with the 5 and we'll take a look at these. So one of the setups that happened today is, you can see the support level. We were pretty clearly in this range on the 1-hour. If I zoom in, you can see here on the left-hand side, boom, boom, boom. We have all these false breaks to the level. Then what happens? We get this move, false breaks, and admittedly, actually, I tried to short this breakout here when we got this 5-minute close below, and immediately reversed. So I reversed my position and then took it long. Yeah, so we had this false break at the level, and we came back, got another false break at the level. Not a very good rejection. I didn't take that one. Aussie, New Zealand. This has been an interesting pair today. So if we just look at what's happening, we'll throw on the session indicator so you guys can see what's happening. It's pretty clear. Like I start my trading days obviously on the 1-hour chart. If you see it where it switches from black to red, that's my trading day. So, and if you want to see what that looks like on the 5-minute, well, I'll just paste it over here. So trading day starts, and we've rejected off the 200. The 1 hour is clearly in an uptrend. Puts in this kind of tight consolidation here. which was a decent level to play a breakout off of. I didn't get that breakout, but then we got this huge move up on the 5 minute, and then we got this nice pullback right here to false broke this level. And something else, I believe this is one where, yes, here we are. And on the 3 minute, you can see we got that false break of that level, and it also false broke the 20 EMA. So to me, that was something, that was a good setup. And now where are we? Well, we're putting in a decent consolidation now. Probably looks a little better on the 5 minute, and looking for the break out of these highs up here and head higher. We have a couple areas of resistance. We'll see how that plays out. Aussie CAD. I don't think I had much on this one today. The Aussie Yen. Yeah, this was another decent pair. You can see here on the 1 hour, I got a good level from this swing low. Boom. We had a good move off of it. And then on the 5 minute chart right here, you can pretty clearly see, it dropped an alert, and we had a nice setup here, and that was an excellent trade setup to play this range higher. So if you want to look at the risk reward of a trade like that, let's just go ahead, measure it out. Yeah, this is about right for the entry. So it offered a nice 3-to-1 reward to risk, and that goes to about there. So you can see right there, decent 3-to-1. Now what's interesting about this now is you can see probably a little more clearly on the 5 minute, but this thing's printing lower highs down now, more or less. We've got these lower highs, and then we got more lower highs. So I suspect, what I'm leaning towards is a breakdown of this support level. So I'm watching it for a breakout lower. But that said, where's my next level going to be? Kind of something around here. There's a lot of support below. Like we have a support here, we have a support here, we have a support here. So we'll see how the breakouts happen. I'll throw my level right there for now, my alert. And then the next one I want to show you guys, was it the CAD JPY? No. Unless it was on the 3 minute. No. So the next one, we're just going to go through anything that I have on the left-hand side of the screen here that's not checked off. It's something I was watching at some point. And, yes, the New Zealand, the pound New Zealand. This was a big mover today. This was a really big mover. So what do we have here? We started the day out, and we had this pretty clear, you can see it on the 1 hour, we had a pretty clear resistance, right? And this was actually tough to trade because we had this resistance, and the breakout bar ended up being this bar here. Here's the breakout bar on the 5 minute. So we have this breakout, boom, and it immediately reverses back down to the 200. And that's a problem. And then then it rallies and shoots higher. So this actually became a very tough breakout to play because this initial one, a person got stopped out on. And on the 3 minute chart, it didn't look too much better. Like no matter what, that becomes the entry bar, and a person gets stopped out on this reversal. You know what? That's trading. So, and you can see here on the 3 minute, like when it comes back to the 200, and we start surfing the 20 EMA, and the wick starts surfing the 50, and you can see these are both in the higher direction. They're both trending upwards. So it becomes a decent entry location here on these consolidations. My preference was the 5 minute, and yeah, it gave decent signals. And then the next breakout bar, if you took a breakout, it would have been on this bar. If you took a pullback, it would have been on this white bar here. So I'll just drop this here. So next breakout bar here, and then If you got a pullback entry, it would have been probably to the bottom of this bar here. So depending on how you're trading that, those are the opportunities there. But as we look at this, now we contrast that to what's happened on the Aussie. Same time, this is another breakout, and let's look at this. So on the hourly here, we have a super tight consolidation, right? Nice tight consolidation. We have some decent levels marked off here. And we get the breakout bar here, and then it immediately reverses on us. So we have all this resistance on the 1 hour overhead. And that's fine. So then what happens, it pulls back and we get a false break of the 20, and that ends up being like in line with this wick here. So that ends up being a decent entry location, and the market's still moving higher from that move. So, and you also see this end up being an engulfing bar as well. So that ended up being a pullback setup. Next one here. Yeah, this was a nice one. So now we're on the New Zealand Swiss, and you can see we had this level here when we started the day. So what happened? Well, we had a breakout here of the level and a nice sell-off. Boom. And then say you missed that sell-off. Well, we had another nice rejection from this level if we just extend that over. So you can see this candle, like every one of these just rejected, and then just rejected that level. This closed above, immediately reversed below, right? And then this next one was a wick, rejected off that and rejected off the 20, and then the thing just capitulated. So nice setup there. This is another pullback setup. And if we look at this on the 3 minute, here we go on the 3 minute. We had actually a couple nice entries this morning, and I'm just going to show you these here. So I like these. Kind of when you get these pin bars that pull back to the level, and they kind of false break your moving averages, and then sell off again. Like that was a nice setup. And then this was nothing. So that's what I want to show you on that one. And let's go ahead and look at New Zealand USD. So this is a trade that I wasn't able to get in. So you can see it was just selling off overnight, the whole night, pretty good, right? And then we broke you can see the pattern right here. Every time it pulled back to the 200 on the 5 minute and closed below it, sold off nicely. 200 closed below it, sold off nicely. 200 closed below it, sold off, pulled back to the 200 again, sold off, just beautifully. So you can see how that same pattern just continued to play out through the day. So that's what I was watching, and then this pullback here. This is so I was watching this level on the pullback, and I was looking for a false break of this high. Didn't quite get that. Basically went to the 50, and then that was it. So I didn't get an entry signal on this, and that's too bad because it ended up being a nice trade setup. A nice move out of it anyways. So USD Mexican. So this was a nice setup. This is just textbook. You can see here's our horizontal structure. And on the 1 hour, if I zoom into this, right? If I zoom into this, you can see super nice move down, super tight. And we get a rejection here, and sells off. And then what happens? We get a rejection right here on this bar. We get another rejection on this bar, and another rejection on this bar of that level. So I actually got in on this level, and this is what that trade looked like. So I got the alert, and then just got in on it. So I ended up running my stop right above that high, and I was shooting for just below these lows with half the position. Oh, I used the wrong tool on that one. Anyways, so it looks something like this. My stop was slightly higher. So that was the trade there. You can see it was a nice 3-to-1 reward to risk. That's the way I played it with spread. Like you can see, it says 3.3 here. Add in spread, it becomes 3-to-1. And yeah, beautiful setup. And then I was gonna let half ride, see if this breaks, but then you could see this structure here, and these higher lows forming. So I didn't want to risk it. We're getting into the end of the day, so I just closed out the position. And I think this is the last one. No, actually there was nothing on here. I don't know why that one was marked off. So that pretty much wraps up the FX trades. Now oil's been on a rampage, and this has been interesting. So you can see over basically the overnight session here, which is black on my 1-hour chart. Oil was just moving sideways. We put a good low, swing low in here, and then we're moving sideways this morning. Then what happened? False break, boom, market shoots higher. Like, look at this volatility. And then sells off almost back to the same level. And admittedly, I was hoping it would cross here because I had an alert, and it didn't. So I didn't get an alert to get in on it. But then, boom, look at that. It just rallied higher. Like, that's a strong move. Back to 69.50. So oil's going higher. Gas prices are going up. I think that's the moral of this story here is energy is going to get more expensive. So with that, let me know in the comments if you need more clarification on any of the setups, and if you have any questions as well. There's a Discord link in the description. So I'm going to end the video here.